Hello, this is Power here with a review of the Kamen Rider Zero-One DX ZAIA Slashriser. So this is the second transformation device Jin gains after he gets revived during the ZAIA arc. We don't know how exactly, but he just does. So if you couldn't tell already, the Slashriser is a retooling off the Shot Riser. Here we see Jin Burning Falcon. Here's the top, which is pretty neat. The left doesn't have anything, despite saying it's from ZAIA, but they're not acknowledging that. And here's another shot of Jin Burning Falcon. Here's everything the bottom provides, and then here's the back of the package, which is really neat overall. So, yeah, let's get this over with. So here we have the contents out. I'm just gonna go over the belt first because it's literally the same as the Shot Riser. The only highlight is the buckle is now in the color of, or the back buckle, or the back belt piece is now in the maroon color instead of black. And speaking of the buckle, it's again just a maroon repaint, so there's honestly not really much to go over. Again, the initial version was, it's supposed to be black but showing up as tan, like really light brown, but let me keep this separated. I don't remember if I showed this off already, but obviously just to assemble it, just remove your hair, and then slide the left side like so, slide the right. It's like a very typical procedure at this point. This is our third belt that does this that I'm covering. So here we go with the Z-Con belt. Just because it's sitting here. There, you have the complete look. And then progress key we'll look at later. Here's the Slashriser itself, which is a heavy retool of the Shot Riser, and it's mostly just in one color, the one color being red. But you get this nice like front plate that's painted in silver, and I think this is like the highlight of it. And then you get the blade here. It's pliable, but it won't hurt you. Here's the back. I'm not a big fan of this translucent red piece, but I understand it has to go along with the trigger and the power switch, so okay, I get it. Speaker back here. They still carry the paint, the silver paint from the front to the back, which is amazing. And the handle, like, for its size, it's pretty nice. Like, obviously it's still not show accurate, because for some reason when, you know, like when he takes it out, like the blade grows, so it becomes a like short blade instead of a dagger. But comparing it with the Shot Riser, this is kind of difficult because they're both different sizes, or not. They're not both different sizes. It's still essentially the same shell. Like from this point on, is the same, and the handles, I really want to say they're still the same. Whoops. The handles are essentially the same. Obviously, this doesn't have a loop anymore. I don't know why I was pointing at this one. This doesn't have a loop anymore, and they changed the button obviously to accommodate the fact that it's a melee weapon now. But other than that, it's nearly like the back is identical, like this area is identical, but the fronts are completely different. And I really do like how the Slashriser has this like hexagon area for the progress key, unlike the Shot Riser, although I still like how the Shot Riser does this more. And as you can see, the Shot Riser has like this huge open gap, and you know, it's not as messy. The Slashriser, because it's a blade, goes all the way through the blade, which I'm not really big on, but I understand as to why it does that. And there is space for you for whenever you flip the progress key to have your finger here, and, like, just if it doesn't like flip all the way through. I know like some people, I'm talking about Zarikin, literally thought that you wouldn't have been able to flip the progress key. Like he literally thought it was going to get stuck. So I just want to note that you can indeed flip it through, because it literally sticks through here. And then just eject the progress key by up here and whatnot. I'm getting ahead of myself. Yeah, like this one isn't as bad, because basically because the nozzle held or hit it. Anyways, this within the buckle, as you can see, it actually looks pretty good. I like how this looks overall. Obviously, more accurate looking is just without the progress keys, and with this way, it actually helps. It actually helps keep this elevated, but obviously I'm gonna have to remove them for consistency. So yeah, before we do that, let's just go over the sounds quickly for the Slashriser. So again, on and off switch. This requires 2 AAA batteries, just like the Shot Riser. Slashriser! Obviously, red LED, and you get 1 singular slashing sound. Just like how with the Shot Riser you get the singular shooting sound. And the insertion sound, you get that, and then that's essentially it. Now let's look at the progress key. So here we are with the Burning Falcon progress key, and sadly, they didn't bother of making this consistent with Shine Hopper and Assault Wolf, and just made a normal progress key, which bothers the heck out of me, because it's like, yeah, they colored it differently, but it's like it's a power up. They should follow that consistency. And now with you know, with Valkyrie finally getting her power up, it's the same situation as this. Like, what's wrong with giving them like the Shining Hopper and Assault Wolf keys? And I just realized that with Valkyrie, so now that bothers me more, but I probably have to let it slide because that's Zetsumaru's keys. But still, Zetsumaru's keys should be able to have that treatment. But anyways, yeah, this is 2 like colors, or like 2 types of plastic. Obviously, you get the gunmetal gray for the main body, and then the secondary cover body is translucent red. And the name Burning Falcon, ability Infernal Wing, and obviously we have the Burning Falcon right there. The back, the QR code for Butaba Gamba 027. Man, I'm really gonna have to keep saying Butaba Gamba for 01. Opening it up, as you can see, the exoskeleton for the Falcon is now glowing red, and here's the cover that's flipped, and as you can see, now the symbol's actually in black, which is really cool, especially when I show it off later. And then comparing it to Flying Falcon, they actually, you know, it's nice they actually did change the Falcon up because it's a power-up. And also, they technically inverted the colors. I think that's what I meant to say. However, they skipped out on the actual Falcon because it's the same Falcon, just repainted. Or just in a red tint. Okay. Sounds?
Internal Burning Falcon's abilities. Internal Burning Falcon's abilities.
So, both functions like a normal PowerRider key despite being premium. And as you can see here,
Internal Burning Falcon's abilities.
this is a white LED still. However, because it's glowing through the translucent red plastic, it's emitting very like orange, which gives it a unique it gives it a unique perspective. No, it just gives it a uniqueness because technically it makes it look like it's glowing fire because it's the whole point. It's just go with the Slashriser. So here we are with the Slashriser. The transformation process is essentially the same. You're essentially transforming like a Valkyrie. However, Jin does it all in his right hand, unlike Yua, where she will use both hands. So that's how we're gonna do it. And then obviously insert it like so. So here's a revamped version of the Shot-Riser standby. And obviously you want to flip the cover before the standby plays, because now the LED emits through on standby, unlike the Shot-Riser. Obviously you press the trigger.
Slashrise.
So there we have the transformation of Jin Burning Falcon, which is pretty neat. As you can see, because the symbol is now black, it stands out a lot more than the previous symbols that are essentially essentially this is like inverted. And I guess you can compare it to Caucasus, but you know, removing this out of the S-con or something, the buckle. Obviously the slashes are still the same. Or you get different slashes now. But let's do the first finisher, which obviously you press the PowerRider key button up here. New standby. So you get a new finisher, Burning Rain, and when we insert it into the buckle and activate it again. So now you get Jin's kick, or Rider kick, the Burning Rain Rush, which is pretty neat and such. However, as I said before, this is how you take out the PowerRider key. You know, you might be curious, well, how exactly do other PowerRider keys function? Why did I put the tab in? So I got Flying Falcon here, because obviously this is his previous key. And And also, like, I just want to say, obviously, with this one, when it's authorized, it says burn rise. However, when we authorize this, it still says authorized. And you can see from here, like, yes, like, I'll, well,
Slashrise. Flying Falcon. Spread your wings and prepare for a force.
so, okay, the thing, I think the drawback with this cover is that it actually makes it really hard to tell that this thing still has a 7 LED light. It's just that because the cover is red and the symbol is black, it's just really hard to see those colors. So that's the positive thing with these ones, is that you can actually see the colors. However, the biggest drawback with the Slashriser is just that you lose the like armor building up sound within this, because those sounds are programmed within this key, which I'm not really big on, because then it just kind of like, it ruins the uniqueness. And it's just like, you know, now when you use other ProRise keys, it's just boring, because now you just have to sit there with the text-to-speech phrase, and it's just like, we already have the Zero-One driver to do that. We don't need another toy for that. That's why I like the Shot Riser, because it was a lot more balanced. It's like, you get both, however, you want to hear the text-to-speech phrase clearly, then you have to go for the Zero-One driver. And on top of that, the bonus for getting the Zero-One driver is that you get the full phrase and such. So I feel like with this thing, just completely omitting the armor building up sound really just hurts it. And honestly just makes playing with ProRise keys not exciting. And speaking of playing with ProRise keys, if we try to do finishers, it's still set to the Shot Riser. So, like, obviously, it's not gonna say Flying Rain, and then with here, then here, you know, we don't get Flying Rain Rush, we get Flying Blast Rush. The attack is fine, but we don't obviously have the announcements, because they didn't program that, because that's, I guess, too technological. So it's just like, you can somewhat play with other ProRise keys within this thing, but all the sounds for, like, the finishers are within this key, and only this key. So it's just kind of like, you know, it just makes playing with this thing not really as fun. Obviously, you want every ProRise key, watch the demo. Obviously, I'm going to show this off in the Shot Riser, you know, essentially show you the same complaint when we use Burning Falcon within the Shot Riser itself. I really do like that, Phoenix. Gosh. The Falcon screech, though. And see, like, the huge issue now is that, like, now the two sounds are overlapping. There's two armor building up sounds. It's just like, no. Put those sounds in the Slashriser. Don't put it within the ProRise key. But also, I just kind of like how the LED, like, how much bigger the LED space is for the Shot Riser compared to the Slashriser. I like the hexagonal shape, but it's just like, I feel like we don't get enough of it. Again, because the finishers are the same, I'm just going to show the fever. See, it's not, the finisher sound's not correlated to this. So obviously instead of, you know, burning blast fever, it's burning rain fever. Obviously this was Jin's first belt, so did they actually take the consideration of editing things out? Nope, they were too lazy to do that. And also just the LED, obviously, this thing's just bad in general. You guys already know how much I don't like this thing. Like, I mean, it's at least doing an alright job. The better one. I like how this one looks, obviously because the red and such. Last but not least, I really like the full jingle of Burning Falcon. Again, I just wish they went all out on it and not treat it like a normal progress key. Like, treat it like a Shining Hopper or Assault Wolf. Because that's what it essentially is. But no, he gets disregarded. And obviously as you can tell, because of the red cover, it's like completely like, you know, it's making the whiteness of the Zero-One driver glow red, and I just like that just because how the colors are. When I do the impact, I want to mention the next thing. So basically, because the you know, animal is actually in black, it stands out a lot better within the Zero-One driver, just because, you know, like the lights are shining behind it, and I just really like that. The finisher. Did it not do it? Just watch the demo. No. It's basically because Jin mostly used the shotgun, so very rarely he used the arrow.
Rise key confirmed. Ready to utilize. Burning Falcon's ability. Burning attacks.
And then
Shotgun rise. Burning carbon shot.
I never messed with this toy in a while. So, that's essentially it for the Slashriser, or the ZAIA Slashriser. And, like, I don't know where to start on this, because I actually do like this toy, because I do like the Shot Riser. So, I like the Shot Riser, so I'm gonna like this toy. However, if I had to choose between the two, I still think the Shot Riser is just a better toy. I already explained half of my complaints on it. Just how it's just not consistent with the Shot Riser. On how the armor building up sound is not in here. I don't know why that's a thing people are happy about. If you want the text-to-speech phrase cleanly, just play it within the Zero-One driver. The Shot Riser is not supposed to have, like, that's not the priority of the Shot Riser. Because that just doesn't make sense. Like, the thing that appealed to me with the Shot Riser is that it was, like, CSM-esque. Where, with the armor, because of the fact there's armor building sound. The armor building up sound. We typically don't get sounds like that. And the fact that that's incorporated within the Shot Riser transformations is really cool. So, to remove that out of this toy is really dumb. And, like, just makes it really bland with playing. It just makes it really bland playing with. Like, yes, I love the standbys for this thing. But that's another issue too. It's just like, the sounds, like, there's nothing else compatible with this device at all. Nothing. Only this key. And it just infuriates me, because I want more out of this device. But they didn't give you more. Everything is literally locked to the Shot Riser. And it's just like, why? Like, and I think on top of this being premium Bandai, it's just more of like a slap in the face. Because I think, from all I covered, I think you can kind of tell this was initially supposed to be a retail release. Like, this was supposed to be the toy that got released in that, like, third quarter. Because that's when they typically released that's when they typically that's when they release. I kept saying re-release. That's when they release, like, retooled versions of previous toys that they've already established. So it was like, oh yeah, the Slashriser is a great contender for that, because it's literally just a retool of the Shot Riser. And it's, it doesn't do much. And, the Jin Burning Falcon had two things released for it, the RKF and the Rider Hero Series Final. So it was just like, where the heck is the actual Slashriser? And then that thing ended up being Premium Bandai, and it was just like, you would just, like, raise your eyebrow on that, because it's like, but you guys released his figure, but not the actual thing? Now, apparently the huge reason why that we didn't get this on retail is because of the fact that Bowser's stuff shelf-warmed so badly that, according to Bandai, no one wanted to buy anything with the ZAIA name on it. So, which is why they're like, well, shoot, I guess we're moving this to Premium Bandai, it's a stupid option. It's Jin. Who would not buy out Jin? Like, I'm excluding the fact that we went through a pandemic, that a pandemic was happening. We're still going through one. But, like, I'm not excluding that, because that doesn't factor in of, like, why this thing was Premium Bandai. They had this in mind beforehand. So, like, it's just really disappointing of a premium Bandai item compared to the Cyclone Riser. Like, not even because, you know, like, this one had phrases, but I mean, like, it actually felt like its own thing. In that, like, you can actually go back to it and have fun with it. This one is just like, you don't really get anything unique out of it. You get the transformation standby, and that's it. You're really just doing it for the transformation standby and the start of the transformation. You're just playing with this thing essentially for the transformations. But again, I, I do like it though, despite how much complaints I have on it. But this is definitely, this is top 3 of my favorite, like, Zero-One Risers. But it's probably the lowest of the 3, just because of how, like, underwhelming it is. Yeah, that's a good way of describing this thing. Underwhelming. This is Power, and I'll leave you people. Bye.